was the biggest demand. Students across the country were asking for it, and the Cockroach Janata Party, the political parties, the opposition over there in the parliament, disrupting the parliament, calling for the resignation. Now that that has happened, how are you looking at this proceeding?
Thank you, Shivani. Thank you for having me over, and good afternoon to all my fellow participants. See, I think today is going to be a very interesting day because obviously this news has come out about the resignation of Dharmendra Pradhan ji. Now, this is something they've been wanting for the last 47 days from the time the protest started, and it also goes to show that this movement which we are talking about is not just restricted to Jantar Mantar. It's been all across the cities, all across India, all across the world, and people have been talking about it because this movement resonates with everybody in terms of education. Families have got affected and impacted and influenced by it. There is a lot of anger, a lot of unrest, a lot of agitations related to it. Now that the government has taken the first step, the government has heard them, and the Prime Minister has been gracious enough to understand what the real problem is, and they're taking it forward. I think what's important is for the CJP or even for the protesters to understand that this is not a victory in terms of a larger victory. They have other three things to also make sure that, see, the entire objective of this is not about Mr. Pradhan's resignation. It's about the system. How is the system going to change? What are the fixes you're going to have in place? Are you going to have a neutral mechanism to ensure that this mistake does not happen again? What is the guarantee that the minister who's going to come in to replace Mr. Pradhan will not make the same mistakes again? I think the real issue here is, how do we ensure there is a neutral mechanism? How do we ensure that there is a process in place that these things don't ever happen again? How do we ensure that there is a committee in place of intellectual power of India, which actually ends up, which actually looks into all this? What's important is to rejoice in this. Yes, I think it's a great moment for Indian democracy because, this is a moment which was very, very particular about education, but also how do we take it forward from here and ensure that there are more larger victories in place, because they have also made the government realize that the government is elected by the people, for the people, with the people, and the government has to listen to the people. And they've heard they've seen the writing on the wall, and they're trying to make a change there. But what's also important is, what are the fixes which are in place? How will the system change? How will you look at the education policy from now on? Because education is very important for India in terms of not just education. You've got creativity, curiosity, innovation, and job creation. Everything's interlinked. So it should have a domino effect, and this should also impact everything in totality. What's important is the government takes accountability for this, and they should also realize that they cannot take the citizens for granted. They should really realize this, and it's important for this protest movement which has happened. It's happened because of the protesters, not because of any political party. It's happened because they have put in their heart, they have put in the soul, they've used social media well. They've understood what social media is, how it can galvanize people around them. They've used that as a disruptive force to show what they feel and think. So I think down the line, everybody's been constantly making fun of Gen Z because of their short attention spans, of the fact that they're not focusing on anything. They've just gone to show that if they put their heart and soul into it, they can actually make a change. For a long time, BJP had always maintained that they do not drop ministers, which is how they operate, which is absolutely fine. The changes happened today. And what is really important is the changes happen from both sides, both from the central government side as well as from the protesters' side. I think what's important is how they take it from here and how do they collaborate more and come to an even solution and actually drop these protests from now on. That's more important.
All right. In fact, I'll come back to you. Let's get in some more breaking news that is coming in at this hour. All right, let's in fact look at this breaking news that is in fact coming our way. Arvind Kejriwal has posted a video message after Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan put in his resignation. He congratulated the entire country. Kejriwal called it a win for democracy. All right, let's also get in a word now from Mr. Shashank Maheshwari, who is a professor at the O.P. Jindal University. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out your time and for speaking to NewsX. We appreciate it. I want to first of all get your reactions to the Education Minister submitting his resignation. In that resignation letter, sir, he addressed it to the youth, and he said that I have been working for the education ecosystem over the past 40 years. and he said that because he didn't want this protest or this movement of the students to be hijacked by antisocial elements, he is in fact submitting his resignation. How do you look at that?
First of all, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be part of this panel. Um, Frankly speaking, I was not expecting the resignation, but as we say that democracy is for the people, by the people, of the people. So obviously the government had to be responsible because of the pressure building going on for the past 1 month. But you know, there's I do have a slight different view on this. Mr. Pradhan has already taken moral responsibility about the leaks in one of the news interviews. It's not something that the government has not taken it at all. It's not something that the government has shied away from taking the responsibility. The government did take the responsibility, and when CJP and the other people who were protesting, they kept on saying that where is accountability?